Good evening and welcome to the Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Stone and Mike Wisdala along with you. It's baseball season, partner.
It is, Jeff. It's we're back here at Dow Diamond, two great teams, Bay City Western and Saginaw Swan Valley. We looked at this on the schedule early in the year when we were putting our spring schedule together and said, you know, Dow Diamond, Bay City Western, Saginaw Swan Valley, we got to do this game.
Well, Swan Valley made it to the state championships last year. 3 Division I players, 2 going to Michigan State, 1 to Michigan. So they're teammates now, but in a couple of years they're going to be foes on the baseball field. But very, very talented team. And Coach McDonald's team is a team that is just starting to hit their stride. Haven't had the offense that they would like for this year, but we'll see if the second game tonight can bring a little offense onto the field.
Yeah, you know, we talked to coaches before the game, Jeff, and they just said there was, just not hitting the ball really well right now. The pitch is good, the defense is good, but, it's going to be a good opportunity for these teams to get out of that hitting slump and play here at Dow Diamond and try to get some runs on the board.
Western without one of their normal starters, as a Big Country Sheridan was hyperextended the elbow last weekend, but we talked to him for a minute and he thinks she'll be back soon.
Yeah, you know, Garrett's got a really a nice attitude, Jeff, and he did that in the game last week, and he feels good that he's going to come back, and that'll be just a great addition for Bay City Western getting Big Country back.
Well, Western takes the first game 3-0 with some timely hitting and great pitching in the ball game. We'll be excited to see what the second half of the doubleheader brings, as we'll be right back in a moment. That concludes our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV. Game action in just a moment.
Where did this rash come from?
Hold on, let me see. Could be bed bugs.
Oh. Mom, Grant says I have bed bugs.
Let's see what the doctor says.
Introducing Covenant Virtual Care. Real-time video doctor visits, e-prescriptions, and follow-up. Now extraordinary care comes to you.
See, it's just poison ivy. Smart advanced.
Learn more at covenantvirtualcare.com.
Good evening and welcome to Dow Diamond. Jeff Stone and Mike Wisdala along with you. It's baseball season, Coach.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff, it's great to open up our spring sports season here on Bay County TV, and what a better place to do it here at beautiful Dow Diamond.
Brendan Brunel will lead off on the visiting half of the first inning, as the first pitch right on the outside corner. Behind the plate, Joe Squires and Tim Walter out on the bases with our 2 great officials tonight. Very blessed to have a lot of experience. Brunel with a swing and a miss. Finds himself in the hole 0-2.
Well, I go back to game 1, Jeff. Bay City Western started the afternoon off with a big win against Swan Valley, 3-0. So that was a nice start for the evening for Coach Tim McDonald and his Western Warriors.
Brunel steps out for just a minute, realizing that he didn't feel like he had the timing and the rhythm down pat, so he's again in the hole 0-2. Pitcher, obviously, with nobody on base, prefers out of the windup. And the pitch, Brunel fires one down the left field line, and a man from Cook Holland picks up that one, Coach.
Well, you know, we talked about this many times. Yeah, what a big thrill for these young student athletes to come to Dow Diamond and play. And the field's in just great shape.
Boy, sent that right back where it came from for a base hit up the middle. Nice job on an 0-2 count to put that thing right back up the middle. Not trying to do too much, just put it in play.
Yeah, put the ball in play, Jeff, right up the pipe. And the first batter, Brunel, on for the Warriors. And, we heard some things that the Warriors weren't hitting the ball that well. But first game, they really did a nice job. And starting off the second game with a nice base hit for Brunel.
Carson Cooley up to bat for the Western Warriors. And that first ball just a tad low and outside, as it'll be 1 ball and no strike. Again, as you just mentioned, a big 3-0 victory over Swan Valley in that first game. Both of these teams had great runs last year, including a state finals run last year for Swan Valley. And frankly, with most of their team back, they had a little higher expectations. But when we talked to Coach before the game, he said still lacking a little bit of that senior leadership, waiting for that player to step up and take control of things. But it'll come.
Yeah, they said he went 33-9-3 last year, Jeff. And again, he's looking for that senior leadership. But both coaches was very interesting. The cold weather has definitely had effect on both these teams so far.
That ball just a little bit low. It's Carson Cooley with great eye at the plate. And a lot of times you don't even have the intent on bunting there. You just want to show the pitcher something different, and it may have altered that last pitch 2-0 and then stepping out of the box. And maybe there was a little play on Coach Mack may have put a play on and he missed it, or he had the brush off. And you watch those guys down there running those signs through, and you got to be a English teacher to get that.
Well, that's Coach McDonald. He is an English teacher, but Carson didn't like what he saw, so they got to get on the same page.
And again, that pitch is framed by the catcher. But the key when you're an official, when you see that pull and frame, when the mitt moves, that's suggesting the catcher doesn't quite think that it's in the strike zone. But they usually do it so fast that you don't see it.
I find it hard to believe that these young student athletes would frame a pitch like that and try to get you to call something. I don't believe that.
It's ludicrous. As back to first base again is Brunel. They're keeping a real close eye on him. He's leadoff hitter for a reason because he's got some speed. But anytime you can take the full attention of that pitcher off of the batter, good things can happen. Right back up the middle again, a tailor-made double play. And look at that movement. High toss back to first base. And it is the old 4-6-3. As Golden soft to Jeb to Gilbert. They made it look easy, and Gilbert, even though he had to go up off the bag for it, he knew he had time to come back down, knew exactly where the bag was at, tickled it with his Tootsie, and he was all set.
You took the words right out of my mouth again. We're right back to mid-season form, Jeff. Did a nice job, came down, got pulled off a little bit, and came down on the bag for a nice big double play to start here in the first inning for the Swan Valley.
Ball right down the middle, but just a little bit low. As Mason Kolak hits in that number 3 spot. Here comes the windup in the pitch. There's a base hit, a nice little looping line drive to left or to right field, and picked up on a hop by the right fielder, which is Shane Thurston. Pops it back into the infield, and the Warriors again with a couple of runners here in the first inning. Coach Snover and the hitting crew are finally making things happen here in this second game.
Yeah, they hit the ball really well in game number 1, Jeff, and they got 2 hits so far here in game number 2. So, you just got to find your rhythm and get a bat on the ball, and good things happen. They're coming up swinging here in game number 2.
Well, even the double play, the ball was hit hard, but right at the second baseman, Golden soft, and boy, you could tell by the way he flipped that thing to the shortstop. He has done that a time or two, and that was just a pretty exchange.
Yeah, that was a real nice job, Jeff, and it was very smooth. And those kids have been working on it all year, and they did a nice job. And that was a big double play, good confidence builder for the Swan Valley Vikings.
So, Adam Shea finds himself in an 0-2 hole. It's a little off-speed pitch, and it's just behind the second baseman. Golden soft calls off the shortstop, makes the play look easy.
It was on that side of second base.
At the end of the first half inning, Western Warriors with 2 base runners come up empty. Back for the bottom of the first in just a moment here on Bay County TV.
Just like Danny, huh?
They'll probably never know about his thousands of hours of on-the-job training.
There you go, Daddy.
Or that he spent as much time in the classroom as someone with a master's degree. You and I know he's one of the experts when it comes to electricity. Part of a team committed to doing the job right. They call him Dad. You call him the electrician right down the street. IBEW, the power professionals in your neighborhood.
back here on Bay County TV as we look down at the brain trust of the Western Warriors.
Tim McDonald, been around a long time, Jeff, Bay County Sports Hall of Famer, and does a nice job with the Western Warriors. Got a good group of kids. We had a nice conversation with some of the young men before the second game tonight. Just a great group of kids, and I had the opportunity to coach these kids about 3 years ago on the basketball floor with Coach Dan Snover, and really just a nice group of young student athletes who play very well, but on the field and off the field they excel at everything they do.
As the start, the bottom of the first inning, first pitch is right up at the top of the zone on the outside corner of the plate. And a great start for the Western Warriors defense. Is Jacek comes with a pitch just on the outside. He's not the only Bay County Sports Hall of Famer in the house, too. We got Coach Harmon over there on the microphone.
Well, we're going to say Coach Harmon, Coach McDonald, and another one sitting to my left here, President Award winner in 2018 for the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame, Jeff Doan. Well, so I'm surrounded by some very high affluent people. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, we've watched you for years run that program, so you're next year's recipient. So we'll have ourselves a quadfecta in this house then. But that pitch just misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. As Jacek again takes his time from the windup. Kind of just hit on the fist, so he couldn't get fully extended. Right fielder Adam Randall just cruise control over into right center field for out number 1. As the Western Warriors, again with a 3-0 victory in that first game, trying to sweep the doubleheader. And this is the time of year where you're looking to start getting a little bit of momentum rolling with your team and hitting that stretch run.
Well, we talked to a couple coaches before the game, Jeff. They said, the weather's going to start turning nice here. We hope, as in Michigan, we never know. But they feel with the weather turning nice and kids getting out and practicing outside and swinging the bat, they feel very comfortable about going into the state tournament here not too far away.
Mason Kolak makes out number 2 look easy. And as he came towards the stands, he realized there's a whole lot of room here in foul territory. You don't have to worry about running into the stands.
Well, when you come out to Dow Diamond, it looks like the Ponderosa out there, Jeff, compared to some of the fields. There are home fields at high school, so there is a lot of room here in Dow Diamond and a lot of room in the outfield also. 400 feet straight away for the folks here at Dow Diamond.
But the Western home field is a very, very plush field, but the pitch misses again, 2-0. You and I were out walking on it, and I had to reach down and touch it because it was almost like AstroTurf. It was so perfect.
Yeah, the field's in great shape, and, you and I got down there and looked at it, and I said to you, is this turf? And you had actually reached down and pulled some grass out. That's how nice it looks. It's nice and short, but it's in great shape, and they did a fantastic job getting ready for the Loon season.
Ball off to the side, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I guess AstroTurf it's field turf now. I guess we go back to the 70s when it was AstroTurf, but it was hard as a rock.
It was rock turf more was what it was, Jeff. But you're right, it's field turf, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And the stands are. You're right on top of this, and we got a great venue again this year.
In addition to being climate controlled, I guess we can't beat that. Ball just a little bit low, just missing the strike zone. Great pitcher's pitch, making it a 3-2 count. As the count is full right now, is Brian Ross up to bat with 2 outs and nobody on. Just got the bottom of the strike zone. Ross stood there like the house by the side of the road. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base at the end of the first inning. No score. Back for the second inning in just a moment on Bay County TV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam, or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Back for the start of the second inning. First up for the Western Warriors is Jamie Grigg, the third baseman. He hits number 6 in the lineup, and he will be going against Connor Sika. Sika right down the middle with a beautiful pitch, and Jamie Grigg says, I'm going to time that first one. Now I know where I'm at. But both these teams have pitchers that throw great off-speed pitches as well.
They've got some college quality players, Jeff. We talked to the coaches. A lot of D1 players out on the field. 3 of them are playing for Swan Valley. I know a couple of them over at Bay City Western. So there's some good baseball players tonight. Going to see a good second game here at Dow Diamond.
No balls and 2 strikes. Another off-speed, went back-to-back with the off-speed pitches. And Jamie Grigg was able to get a piece of that one and protect the plate. One of the players we were looking forward to seeing tonight, but he's got a little shoulder harness on, had a hyperextended elbow, and that's Big Country Sheridan.
Yeah, Big Country was in a sling and got hurt over the weekend, Jeff. But, again, it was nice to see those kids again. And he's got a really good attitude. He says he's going to be back next week and ready to play. So good luck to him and on healing. And just another one of those student athletes that I had the opportunity to coach that was just a nice young man. And you know, the world's in good hands when you have guys like Big Country out there playing sports.
No balls and 2 strikes again. That pitch is down in the dirt and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He can play a little cornhole, too. I tried playing cornhole against him one time, and I said, good thing we're not playing for money. I'd be broke.
Well, his left hand is the one that's hurt, so he can use his right hand, so he's good.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Another off-speed pitch, and Jamie Grigg down swinging. He may have gotten a piece of that and right into the catcher's mitt, but that's the first out of the top of the second inning for the Western Warriors. And that will bring up number 13, Nick Dardis. Nick, another one of those players. I believe he signed at Central Michigan.
Yeah, he's going to be a Chippewa next year, Jeff. And had a chance to talk to Mom. Mom was in the concourse down at here at Dow Diamond. Had a nice talk with her. Very excited. Only 45-minute drive to go see Nick play. So very happy for Nick being going over to Central Michigan.
And she said it's great. It's only a 45-minute drive for the home games, but you don't get quite that lucky for the away games. But when you know you've got half the schedule and you're inside an hour, that's just a beautiful thing to allow you the opportunity to not have to totally interfere with your work life, to be able to still have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I get the opportunity. I see Kathy, Mom, all the time. She works with me over at the ISD, and she's one of the assistant principals at the Courier Center, doing a great job and doing some things with our good friend, Mr. Brian Dufresne, over at the Courier Center.
As that pitch on 3-0, Dardis taken all the way. That thing went right down Broadway, and he decided to take it. He says, you're going to have to throw me something really good on 3-1 as well. Let's see what that great eye at the plate has for him. He had a healthy rip at a pitch that was up and out, right on the edge of the zone. And he taps himself on the head, realizes he might have swung at ball 4, but he's still got another opportunity. Wind up in the pitch. That pitch is just a high pop-up, and Golden Schmidt says, I'm going to make a snow cone out of that thing. He caught it, but, you know, you're battling with wind, plus you're battling that high sky yet.
Yeah, the sun, Jeff, was right there, and he looked at him. He just shook his head a little bit and said, oh, boy, that sun and that wind was tough. Now he's wiping his brow off over to the first baseman and said, ooh, brother, that was a toughie, but nice job of that young man.
And the first baseman says, I'm glad you went and got that one so that didn't have to take care of it. But he fought it through, and he made the catch. Had a little snow cone effect, but doesn't matter. It still counts the same in the book.
Yeah, got the out number 2 for the Vikings of Swan Valley. Up now for the Warriors, Jeff, number 14 is Joe Courier.
So Joe takes first pitch for a ball. Right on the outside corner of the plate. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike for Joe Courier. Joe is second baseman here in the second game. Wind up in the pitch. Another off-speed pitch down in the dirt. As Connor Sika trying to change speeds because they know that you just keep dialing up the fastball, and these Western Warriors are tuned into it.
Yeah, they'll zero in on those fastballs, Jeff. This good hitting baseball team, they hit very well in the first game, and I think we're seeing them coming out of that little bit of a slump that we talked to the coaches. They play great defense, have great pitching, but they started out game 1 and game 2. They got some couple good hits so far.
And another beautiful pitch, and he knew right away that was going to be on the outside corner. Again, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 1.5, and we've still got no score. Back for the bottom of the second in just a moment on BCTV. AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested transportation service. For over a decade, we have been helping our clients to get to their destination on time, in style, and comfort. AAA's services include non-emergency medical transport, wheelchair accessible, school transportation, and shuttle services. We strive to provide exceptional customer service and tailor our fleet to meet your individual needs. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. To set up your next appointment, give us a call at 989-893-8294. Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Todt and Mike Wisdala along with you, looking at that beautiful board that might have cost a penny or two.
There's a few shekels put into that, Jeff, and the kids get their picture up there. As you see, Easton Goldensoft, the first batter for Swan Valley, number 29. Gets his picture up there, and really a nice sign. That was installed last year when we came here, and really is a big difference here at Dow Diamond.
Well, I'll tell you, year in and year out, this is a very, very highly rated facility around the nation, not just in the Midwest League. This is the talk of a lot of the leagues. When people come here, this is just plush stuff.
I think they won the Minor League Baseball Stadium of the Year award not too long ago as one of the better ones and the best one in the country, Jeff. So they do a great job here, and got some great sponsors on the boards, on the walls out in the outfield. So, this is not just Midland. It's Great Lakes Bay region. They come from all over to watch the Loons, and it's great that the high school kids have the opportunity to play here.
And no better conditions to play under than these, with 2 balls and 2 strikes on Goldensoft. Just gets a piece of it and fouls it back. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the pitcher, Brent Jacek, doesn't have anybody on base, so he'll be able to run from the windup. Working from the right side of the rubber. Goldensoft just gets another piece of it. Uh-oh, look who's down there. He said, I still got one good right hand. I can pick up that foul ball off the ground. Big Country gets into the action.
He's doing his part. Team player.
Boy, ball just foul, but a really nice job by Jamie Grigg, because if that gets by him and into the corner, that's 2 bases if it's fair.
Yeah, that was a nice job. Good call by the umpire, Jeff. He was all over it. And Easton Goldensoft, the catcher for the Vikings, going to live for another swing.
And the count is now full. Tried to snap off a little curve ball.
That was going to hit me. He could.
As we have got ourselves a quick one rolling here in the bottom of the second inning. And the full count pitch just got a piece of it, and it popped out of Nick Dardis's glove. And Nick smacked that glove with his hand, too, realized he just couldn't squeeze that thing enough to make the third strike.
Yeah, those catchers, they want to make all the plays, Jeff. So big pitch right here. And again, Golden Saw playing tough, getting a piece of the ball again, and still at the full count.
And this is something that you see in baseball. What just happened? The umpire had the top of the ball hit the top of his mask. So Dardis understands that's going on. So he makes an unofficial trip to the mound to allow the umpire a chance to clear the bells of St. Anne that could be ringing. And so he comes back. But that's just a great play on his part. And the 3-2 pitch was right down the middle. Golden Soft swung right through it for the first out at the bottom of the second.
Well, then when you see sometimes, Jeff, you see the catcher get hit in the mask, the umpire will do the same thing. He'll walk out to the pitcher and the hand on the ball, or he'll clean the plate off and stuff. Just kind of take his time. So, you know, you've been hit with a baseball like that before. That's a shock to the system. And like you said, you got to clear the cobwebs every now and then.
Well, and it's the cumulative effect from those things that you worry about in the long term. And, you know, those masks are a lot better cushioned than they were in the past. But doesn't matter how well cushioned those things are. When you get hit in the mask, that is like an 85-mile-an-hour punch hitting you right in the face.
Yeah, that's tough on the catcher and on the umpire, Jeff. At the plate, number 12, Logan Gilbert for the Swan Valley Vikings.
Gilbert a little tardy on that speeder coming on the outside corner, as it is 1 ball and 2 strikes again, 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Glad to have you along here on Bay County TV. Yachuk with a windup and a pitch, and he didn't waste any time and effort. He came high and hard with the heater, and that will be the second out of the bottom of the second inning.
Well, we look up on the scoreboard, Jeff, and you can see that one came in at 86 miles per hour. So that was he was bringing it that time up for the Vikings, number 14, Victor Mancini. And it's interesting to watch the speeds come up for the pitchers. They're in the mid 80s, low to mid 80s so far the whole game.
Well, and when you even look at the 2 previous pitches, you had 86 and 83. And when you've got just that 3-4 mile variance, that's just enough to keep that hitter off balance. And that's not easy for a pitcher to vary that speed even by 3 or 4 miles an hour.
And we'll see when he brings the curveball. You're right there. He goes all the way down to 65. So he's gone a high of 86, Jeff, and low of 65. So that's a nice gap in between the speed on the ball.
And that 20 miles an hour, people talk about that and they go, well, you know, that 65, that should be easy to hit if you're guessing right and you understand that you're looking for the curveball. But when you're geared up, have to gear up for an 86-mile-an-hour heater, and then you have to adjust to that, you hope you can just get a piece of it and foul it off.
And he brings another one at 85, Jeff, and got off the mound very well. Nice job by the Western pitcher, number 15, for that is Brett Yachuk, getting off the mound and getting that out. Nice inning for the Western Warriors.
Again, 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 2 complete innings. No score between the Western Warriors and the Swan Valley Vikings. Back for the 3rd inning in just a moment on BCTV.
How's married life? Are you ready to have a baby? Baby. How about that baby? Ooh. I'm not getting any younger.
When you are ready. With the only neonatal intensive care unit in the Great Lakes Bay region, Covenant is the safest place for your delivery. Go to mycovenantbaby.com.
Back here on Bay County TV, there he is out at first base, Mr. Tim Walter. He is a veteran of many campaigns and does football, does basketball, does baseball, done Pony League and Little League World Series, as well as behind the plate. Joe Squires has done a lot of college ball too, so I'll tell you what, that's blessed. Very blessed to have 2 officials like that on the field at the same time. The ball just misses the strike zone, a little low on the outside, as Connor Sika, his first offering at the top of the 3rd inning, gives ball 1. And a little dribbler down the third baseline. Look at that. Coach Mack says, I think I might just be able to.
He's going to get on his horse a little bit. It's Coach McDonald going to go pick it up. Adam Randall, the batter for the Western Warriors. Jeff, we're just underway here in the top of the third inning.
Boy, and doing a nice job again of altering the speed. 71 miles on that. Adam Randall was definitely looking for a fastball and really thrown out of sorts for that last pitch. Now it's kind of a guessing game what you get at 1 and 2. And there's a high foul ball that's going to go about 8 rows deep into the seats. Kind of went down into that little tunnel area down there. And nobody gets a free bag of corn like you do at Courier Field when you bring it back.
I was talking to Coach Harmon about that. He goes, yeah, I remember Courier Field. Free bag of popcorn for a foul ball.
And I tell you, it was like seagulls chasing a French fry when those foul balls came, as it looked like Randall just got hit on the elbow or on the arm, and he'll get a free pass to first base.
Nice job by Randall, Jeff. He saw the ball coming in a little bit tight, didn't move, hit him, and they're going to get a free pass. Right now up for the Warriors, number 16, Craig Freeman.
Well, and that ball that hit him, too, they go, oh, you know, it was only a 68-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. On a cold day like this, 68, if it hits you in the right spot, it'll give you tinglies. As that ball is fouled back very near our location back here. Remember, in the inaugural game we got last year, we had one of those that popped right up to us. So, you know, we thought that potentially that could be worth millions of dollars, but nobody's offered us millions for that ball yet. So we're just hanging tough. Again, as Freeman is going back to first base, just beats that slide. The Western kids are really taking the longest lead they can to still get back at first. So that's making the pitcher, Sika, have to work really hard at splitting what his mindset is as to just keeping it. And I think they called that a ball, as pulling it back just in time was Freeman.
No, they called it a strike. That was strike 2. They went out to the base umpire, and he called it a strike. So they double-checked it, and it's 0-2, I think, Jeff, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like on the scoreboard.
Yep, I think they've got it 0-2 on the scoreboard. I don't believe it was a strike. They had to have ruled that he offered on that bunt.
Yeah, he offered on the bunt, correct.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Is trying to bunt that ball with 2 strikes, and Freeman couldn't get that ball down on the ground. He was definitely trying to sacrifice that runner to second base, and the runner's still at first base, and first out of this top of the third.
Coach McDonald playing a little small ball, trying to get the base runner over to second base. And up for the Warriors now, number 7, Brendan Brunel for the Warriors. And he's taking a good look over at Coach McDonald. And, now you see these things on the wrist, Jeff, like the quarterbacks they use during the football season. A lot of baseball players are using those now.
Brunel hits a high, lazy pop-up to the shortstop, and Mitch Jebb reels that in, and now there's 2 outs as Brunel went after that first offering, and just that quick, there's 2 outs with a runner on first base for Western here in the top of the third inning.
Up for the Warriors, Jeff, number 6, Carson Cooley, the shortstop for Bay City Western. We are in the top of the third, no score. And the pitcher for Swan Valley taking it back to first base. It looks like the Western Warriors here in the second game, Jeff. Scouting report says they might be able to run on the Swan Valley Vikings.
There's a pitch just a little low and outside, and the Swan Valley pitcher, Connor Sika, is doing a really good job to try and keep these hitters off balance. I think he tried to throw quite a few heaters in the first inning and found out that Western was timing them, so now he's doing a pretty good job of trying to keep them off balance.
Well, and he's trying to keep, I think that's Randall down there on first base. He's trying to keep him close even with 2 outs, so he's getting a good lead over on first base with Carson Cooley being a good hitter.
And there is a strike. He kind of swung at that just to protect the runner going to second, but I think Randall had a big enough jump. He was going to be able to steal that on his own.
I think he got a walk and jump right there, Jeff. He was walking, trying to get his lead, just took off. Nice base running by Randall.
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. Sika snaps off a curveball that is just a little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike, so Carson Cooley right now is in a pretty hitter-friendly count. See what he can do here against the Sika offering here in the top of the 3rd inning. Fastball right down the middle. And Carson Cooley almost looked like he was looking off speed there, and he got tied up.
Yeah, I think he was thinking it was going to be another curveball, Jeff, and came with a little bit of heat. 2-2 for Carson. 2 out here in the top of the 3rd.
Nice job of holding up as that curveball stayed high and inside. So now the beauty is, with 2 outs and a full count, Randall will be on the move here from second base and shouldn't have any trouble scoring if that ball leaves the infield. There's a foul ball, and that'll be over there in Souvenirville as that hits off the railing and is scooped up by a young fan who tosses it to an adult saying, "What do you want me to do with this? I'm heading to the playground right now. Can't be bothered with this thing called a baseball." And there is ball 4. He's safe with that, did not offer. And boy, Randall was 3/4 of the way to third base. That pitcher did not even seek a peek back at him at all.
He did not take a look back there at all, Jeff. You're right. And a great job right there by the Western hitter, fighting off some pretty good pitches. And now 1st and 3rd with 2 out here in the top of the 3rd for the Warriors.
As Mason Kolak is up next for 2 runners on base again for the Western Warriors here. And another no throw down because the play normally is on. If that throw goes down to second, your runner Randall on 3rd is going to come part way down and see if he can make it home.
You're all over it. You got your baseball thinking cap going on.
Slight. It's a beautiful swing and a miss by Mason Kolak up at the top of the zone. Saw the heater, looking for the heater, just missed it. Had it perfectly timed, though, as Sika now evens the count at 1-1. That ball just low and misses the strike zone. 2-1. Unlike the bigs, when that ball hits the dirt, they just toss it back to the mound and say, "Play ball."
Yeah, they're not throwing them out, Jeff. They need them. So the big leagues, you know what they do with those balls? Sometimes they send them down to their minor league affiliates when they're not going to use them.
As that ball gets sailed down the left field line and goes over into the buffet zone over there for the Loons. And, we talked before we went on. Loons lost today, but 10 straight victories, and they're really starting to put it together again in 2019.
Yeah, they were over at the Kane County Cougars. Jeff had a 10-game winning streak, but lost. I think it was 8-1 we heard. But nice hit right there by Kolak.
And an attempt to the play at the plate. That ball is low, and it's right on track. They're out, but again, you look back to see that runner crossing home plate before the tag out at second base, so both runs will count, and that'll be a 2 spot for the Western Warriors with Key hit with 2 outs. And going into the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Western Warriors 2 and the Swan Valley Vikings nothing. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
You treat your family with extraordinary care every day. Which is why when it comes to their health, more of you choose Covenant Healthcare. We specialize in extraordinary care. From diagnosis to recovery. From babies to grandparents. Learn more about our extraordinary bariatrics program. Sign up for our free seminar.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. Who we zooming in on?
Mr. Yachek, the pitcher for Bay City Western, Jeff, done a nice job here in game number 2. And a nice 2-run inning for the Warriors on the top of the 3rd. Yeah, that's a big 2 runs for Western against a good quality team like Swan Valley.
Oh, great soothsayer, Amen. You said Western was looking to run, and that's what really got that half inning rolling for the Western Warriors. They got a couple of stolen bases and got some runners on via a walk, and then one big timely hit. But the second stolen base without a throw, I don't know if they'll call that a stolen base or not, or if that was just an indifference.
Well, we're going to call it a stolen base for the Western Warriors, Jeff. We'll call it a stolen base.
I like your official book.
We'll go next door and talk to Coach Harmon, see what he thinks.
That ball just a little bit low and in the dirt. And again, Brent Jacek has just done a masterful job through his first 2 innings, as Matt Pike is up right now for the Swan Valley Vikings as the number 7 hitter. And boy, right down the pipes by Jacek, and 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, when you are not going to swing at a pitch like that, you almost got to be guessing wrong.
Yeah, Matt Pike is a designated hitter and hits it to the first baseman for the Warriors, out number 1, and that is Mason Kolak. Nice job by Mason, out number 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd, Jeff. Bay City Western 2 and the Swan Valley Vikings yet to get on the scoreboard.
Mason Kolak did a great job because he kind of got that short hop, and when you get that tweener hop, you got to stand right in front of it and make sure that you can engulf that thing so that it doesn't get by you. He knew he had time, so he took his time. He was able to get that short hop clean and a little scamper over to the base, and it's 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. His first pitch was a strike, and the second one a ball from Jacek. 1 ball and 1 strikes. It's Connor Sika, the pitcher, trying to help his own cause right now.
Yep, Connor's done a nice job pitching tonight too, Jeff. There's a little floater into short right center field. Boy, it was just kind of in between the center fielder and the second baseman. And I don't think the center fielder, Jeff, got a good jump. It was kind of in the sun. And if you look out there, you can see that the sun has gotten out to the outfield, but he's right smack dab in it.
Well, and I think that's exactly what happened. He lost it for a split second, and when you lose it for a split second, it's far better that it falls in front of you than going over your head.
Yeah, and they did a nice job. They communicated. The second baseman went out there, and they kept it in front of him. So, but a nice job by number 14, Joe Courier. Good effort out there. And so I think this is Swan Valley's first base runner.
I think you're right, as Chase Thurston, number 11, the hitter, as he swings and misses on that first offering from Jacek. Now you look, and Coach McDonald is working things a little different. You think that lefty might be just a tad behind the ball, so they're shading the center fielder, Freeman, just a little bit to left center.
Yep, it looks like you're right, Jeff. They kind of put a little bit of a shift on. Second baseman's a little closer to second base, but on the second base side in Swan Valley, typical, going to try to play a little small ball and get the runner over to second base.
Boy, it's tough to play small ball, though, when you've already got 1 out. So,
yeah,
you know, that you like to get him over there with 1 out to second base. But Jacek has done a nice job. They've got an opportunity. They're going to just take the easy out at first base. And a nice job of covering third base, because when your third baseman, Jamie Grigg, comes in, that's where your shortstop Cooley comes over and says, I'm going to make sure he doesn't get a free walk to third base. But also Jacek was heading over there, too, to make certain they were double for sure.
They were double mint and gumming that thing right there, Jeff. They were both going over to third base, and nice communication by the Warriors to cover that on that bunt.
For sure, for sure. As number 19, Mitch Jebb, steps out of the box for just a minute. Again, 2 outs and a runner on second base. First scoring opportunity of this second game. Really, not many in the first game either that they had. So pitch is outside for ball number 1. as it's starting to get a little cool. So when it gets a little bit cool, it makes it a little tougher to command that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, it's tough, Jeff, and it is cold out there, and the sun is directly behind the stadium now. Not much out there on the field, just out towards right center mostly. So it is cool. You're probably looking at the low 50s, high 40s, and there's a little bit of breeze. You look at Oak Glory out there, a breeze is blowing in from left field.
It's a little north-northeast or a little nor'east, and that means it's coming off of the bay, and that means chilly. But it's a good hitter's backdrop right now with everything being in the back. So there's a hit to left field. There's no way they're going to score that runner in as the left fielder, Brunel, gets that thing in a hurry. Had it played perfectly defensively.
Well, that was a nice pitch, too, by Jacek, Jeff. And Jeb just did a real nice job getting the bat out there and taking it the opposite way. So first and third for Swan Valley. A little bit of threat here. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
And a hitter that they would love to have up in this spot, Avery Goldensoff, number 4. He is one of their truly talented individuals. So Swan Valley with their first opportunity in this second game in the bottom of the third inning with 2 outs to make something happen right down the middle with that first pitch. And Brent Jacek just reared back and let it fly 84 mile an hour on the gun.
That was a nice pitch right there to start off this batter right here, Jeff. Number 4, Avery Goldensoff. We've heard a lot of good things about this young man, too.
Well, he ducked that thing as it rolled up over the top of his head. And, yeah, you might have got a free base off one of those, but you don't want the old ringing the bell up on the top of the noggy.
Not on the old melon. You don't want to get hit there.
That's the old Abner melon. You don't want that. As that ball just on the outside corner. And something that you do not want to do as a hitter is show your frustration to a veteran official like that. If that next one is even close, you better have the metal swinging.
Get the bat on the ball, right? Is that what you're telling me?
Because if it's even close and you're not, it's over. Oh, and Goldensoff gets hit, and he'll go to first base. Part of that, though, was the fact that runner's in motion. Brent Jacek at least saw that out of the corner of his eye. It took his concentration away. But again, you're looking at an off-speed pitch that they're just having a little bit of control problems with because they can't get the right feeling and the grip on the ball.
And it's cold out there, Jeff, and the Goldensoff got hit, and that really stung him a little bit. I think he got hit on the wrist, if I'm not mistaken, but boy, he's in a little bit of pain down there, but he's going to walk it off, and bases are loaded here in the bottom of the third with 2 out for the Vikings.
Brian Ross, number 5, the batter. He's got the bases jammed. And that first pitch comes right up at the top of the zone, strike 1, as Jacek rears back for his fastest pitch of the night at 87 miles an hour. He was bringing it.
See what Nick Dardis was looking over at Coach McDonald, see what Coach McDonald called, and he brought again the fastball. So, you know, Nick, a veteran catcher, been on the varsity, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff, for 3 years. And Coach McDonald's going to take a little bit of time out and talk to his team. I think this is a good timeout right here. You know, you got 2 strikes. Just got to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Well, the one thing you want to do with no balls and 2 strikes is you want to make sure that the pitcher throws the pitch that he wants in the location that he wants. A mistake here leads to 2 or 3 runs, so you just make sure he's focused. He's thrown a lot of pitches, so you take that opportunity, take a couple of deep breaths. You got a great veteran catcher back there you know is going to smother it. That last pitch at 73 miles an hour, he may come back to back with another curveball, but I'll tell you, when you're throwing 87 with the heater, I say go with your A.
I think he's going to bring it, Jeff. We'll see what Coach McDonald told Jacek to do.
And there's one that's up the gap. Nice job by Ross, as he's going to have an opportunity to slide into second base safely. And just like that, we've got a tie game. Ross went with his best pitch on 0-2, and Ross was sitting there ready for it.
Yeah, Ross sat on it, Jeff, and didn't try to pull it, went the other way with it, and did a nice job and got 2 runs in. And don't look now, we're tied up 2-2 here in the bottom of the third.
Still 2 runners in scoring position as well for Swan Valley as Joe Bula comes up right now, number 7. he's got an opportunity to give Swan Valley their first lead of the doubleheader.
Talking to the Swan Valley coaching staff, Jeff, they were kind of in the same hitting slump that the Warriors have been in. They both are getting out of it right now here in Game 2. Warriors got out in Game 1. Swan Valley's getting out in Game 2. They're hitting the ball right now. So it's coaches, staff from Swan Valley's got to be very happy with what's going on here in the third inning.
Boy, with 2 outs, you almost wonder if they're going to try a little squeeze play here and see if they can get that bunt down, especially if that bunt goes towards third base. I mean, both first and third base playing fairly deep. So we'll find out if Joe Bula's got a little play on here that he might be able to execute as Jacek comes out of the windup. And that is a strike. I think his location is much better out of the windup than it is out of the stretch.
He's really painting the corners too, Jeff. He does a nice job. Gets it all over the plate, inside out and outside. And boy, there's a nice curveball right there. A little bit of pull of the string right there, my friend.
68 miles an hour after he goes 87. So again, you're talking anywhere from 16 to 20 mile an hour difference on the fastball to the curve.
That's impressive. That really is. And again, Jacek's out there, didn't like what he saw, so they're going to redo it. And nice job. If he's not comfortable, get off the mound and restart.
No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch just on the outside corner of the plate. But the Swan Valley Vikings with an answer in the bottom of the third. Both teams come up with 2 runs. 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors for both teams. Tied up at the end of 3. Back for the top of the 4th in just a moment on Bay County TV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. 2-3-0 for both teams after 3.
Looks like a pretty good looking scoreboard right there, Jeff. 2 runs, 3 hits for both squads, no errors. Really big 2 big innings back to back for both squads in the third inning. And really a big hit. Nice hitting by the Swan Valley Vikings, and a little bit of smart base running also by the Vikings.
Well, part of their success was geared by the running, too. Stealing a base, putting people in motion. Pitcher sees that out of the corner of his eye. Then he hits a batter as he's distracted, and the next thing you know, a very well-timed base hit, and we're tied up at 2.
And this is the type of game we expected, Jeff. We didn't expect a lot of scoring going on tonight by these 2 really good baseball teams. By Swan Valley and Bay City Western. So 3-0 win for the Warriors in game number 1, and we're not surprised by the low scoring going on tonight. Good pitching.
That pitch right down in the dirt. We couldn't tell from our vantage point where it was at. You see a little dust moving, and you know that's where the catcher is trying to hold that thing off. Sika sails that one down to first base. An excellent job defensively by Logan Gilbert. As he stayed low, that ball never came up, but he kept that glove right down in the ground and made it look easy.
He did a nice job just focusing in on it, Jeff, and out number 1 for the Warriors. Up now number 9, the third baseman, Jimmy Grigg.
And you look at Jimmy Grigg, and he is a very accomplished hitter as well. Takes that first pitch right down the middle for no balls and 1 strike with 1 out.
Jimmy's a big fella down there at third base. He's pretty well put together.
He's got a good stroke at the plate as well. That pitch just outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Very impressed with both umpires in this game too. Generous strike zone. You'll never hear complaints from the coaches as long as that generous zone stays consistent, and that's exactly what we've seen. There's a little lazy high fly ball into center field. gobbled up by Brian Ross, and just that quick, 2 down and nobody on for the Western Warriors.
Well, Jeff, when I was coaching, I always wanted to know what the referees who were coming in the building and stuff like that. And, when you're getting a good quality crew like that, it's just you can focus in on what you're doing and not have to worry, because you're going to get everything caught. And then they're going to make mistakes. They're humans. But when you get a good umpiring crew or a good 3-man referee crew, man, it just makes the game so much more enjoyable to play in and so much more enjoyable to coach and to watch, too.
Well, because you're getting the consistency that's all you're ever asking for. As that curveball snapped off from Sika, might have been the best pitch he's thrown tonight at 66 miles an hour. That thing had great movement.
At the plate for the Warriors, number 13, the catcher, Nick Dardis. 2 strikes on Nick. Sorry, Jeff.
That's all right. That ball well outside, a wasted pitch for the pitcher. Seeing if Nick sees fastball there and wants to chase it. 79 miles on that last offering from Sika. Dardis in the hole, 1-2. And tried to come with one too many off-speed pitches, and Nick Dardis had guessed off-speed, and he didn't miss it.
Boy, I tell you, he just kind of put the bat out there, Jeff. Great swing, head right on the barrel of the bat, took it right out the left field. And as you notice, we're getting a little dark. The lights are on here at Dow Diamond.
Well, and the beauty of those lights is they turn them on. They normally take about 10 minutes to fully put an impact down. So that's why you see when you're playing ball, you don't wait until it starts to turn those lights on. You give it about a 10 to 15 minute notice. But, boy, when you look around, as soon as it starts to get a little duskier, there's not a drop of the field that is not well lit.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous, Jeff, and blue skies, a little bit of chill in the air, but overall not a bad night for baseball here at the Dow Diamond.
Joe Courier up to bat. Courier with a little pop fly, and that is taken in by Logan Gilbert, and that is the end of the top of the 4th inning. Still knotted up at 2. Back for the bottom of the 4th in just a moment on Bay County TV.
It doesn't matter what kind of weather. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. When Mother Nature's done her worst, the only thing that matters to us is keeping the lights on for you. The hard-working men and women of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, dedicated to keeping the power on in communities across the country. Because when bad weather strikes, we know what matters most. The IBEW, the power professionals.
As we take a little peer down onto the stands tonight, are they dressed for football or for baseball?
Well, it's a baseball game, Jeff, but it's football weather. But you know what? You got to come prepared here at Dow Diamond. And the Warriors and the Vikings faithful are out. Good-looking crowd tonight. A lot of good numbers, and everybody's having a good time. But it's a chilly night, and we've been to Dow Diamond before, and we're very fortunate to have the absolutely gorgeous booth. But if you're outside, it's chilly out, and gotta bring a blanket. It's okay.
But you know what? Just like when they're playing on their home field on the cornfield, it's wide open out there. They're used to it being a little chilly, so they just make the best of it, and they're prepared for it, and they come and enjoy it. But they're glad that they don't have to swing and have that ball go off of the handle of the bat where it gives you the old tingly fingies.
You can go back a year, Jeff, how bad it was and how the rain they lost 5, 6, 7 games last year, so they're just happy to be playing.
It's going to be tough to throw them out. Nice job that time by a step and a half. Carson Cooley, as Greg came over, and he had visions of cutting that ball off. But Cooley had plenty of time, boy. As he picked it up, he's got a rocket for an arm.
I'm pretty sure Cooley said, "Hey, I got it," and Greg said, "It's all yours." And he was going towards third or first base when he threw that, Jeff. So Greg did a nice job, let it go, good communication.
Yeah, your third baseman is not going to be heading towards first base. He's going to have to throw a sidearm or stop and reuse his feet to balance the body off. So nice job by Cooley for the first out of the bottom of the 4th. Right on the outside corner again, 68-mile-an-hour curveball. That is an unhittable curveball because that doesn't get to the strike zone until the last 3 feet before the plate.
I think we got a new pitcher in, Jeff. We're going to have to see who that is. It looks like it's number 11. That's not Yachik anymore, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to get his number.
It's Adam Shea.
Oh, Adam Shea. You had that one written down. Good. That's why you get the big money.
Wow. Boy, did I fool you. It's Matt Pike, the batter right now for Swan Valley. And the thing is, you've got a lefty now, so that ball's coming at the hitters from a totally different angle.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Yachik did a nice job, Jeff, for the Warriors. He was all over the plate and bringing at a whole bunch of different speeds. So very impressed with Yachik's effort tonight.
Boy, and Matt Pike had that front leg sliding out just a little bit. He just started to bail. He was glad to get a piece of it. 1 ball and 1 strike now. As Shea comes with the heater, and Pike was guessing heater. He just couldn't catch up to that thing at the top of the zone. Another 84-mile-an-hour fastball. The Western Warriors consistently in the mid-80s.
They're doing a nice job mixing it up, Jeff. And, boy, Pike just got a little bit of it right there. But you notice how they're mixing it up. They'll come with a couple fastballs and then a changeup and maybe the curveball. But like you said, the 16 to 20-mile-an-hour difference has really done a nice job for the Warriors tonight.
Here's the curveball that's outside. Again, could have been a 1-2 wasted pitch, a little purpose pitch to the outside to see if Matt Pike was ready to do a little fishing on the ball field. There is a 2-hopper to Cooley. Cooley sends that thing over to Kolek, who just can't get the short hop. And Matt Pike hustles his way down and has earned himself a spot on first base.
Yeah, that ball was hard hit, Jeff, and the shortstop for the Warriors, Cooley, did a nice job, just kind of shortstop there, got it on the bounce, but Pike did a nice job running hard and gets on base on the throw.
Now look at how short the lead is at first, though, for Pike, as he does not get the same lead when you've got a left-hander that's real easy for him to look over.
Take a peek.
So he's got about a step and a half less lead than he normally would against a righty, as the batter is Connor Sika, pitcher trying to help out his cause. And that ball's high. So the second offering to Sika from Adam Shea. 2 balls and no strikes here, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th of a tie score. That pitch on the outside corner, belt high. That is a great pitcher's pitch because that's really tough to catch up to.
Well, one thing about Adam Shea, he doesn't waste any time on the mound, Jeff. He's ready to rock. As soon as he gets the ball back, he gets the signal from Nick Dardis. Take a watch at him. He's ready to go. He's not wasting any time.
Well, and the other thing you notice now, 84 on the previous fastball, 81 on the last, 82 here. So people don't think that 2-3 miles an hour is difference, but that is the difference between being able to hit it and swinging and missing.
Good point.
So with 2 balls and 2 strikes, Connor Sika trying to help out his cause, lays off the high heat, and we've got 2 down and a full count. And that means we are going to have a little runner in motion for the Swan Valley Vikings here. And Kolek backs off. He's not even going to hold him on. He's just going to let Adam Shea take care of business himself. There's a high pop fly. Plenty of room over there for Mason Kolek. Watches it into the glove, squeezes it tight at the end of 4 innings of play. Knotted up at 2. Be back for the 5th inning in just a moment on Bay County TV. Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs. Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you, and Western with 2 in the top of the 3rd. Looks like they've got a little momentum. Swan Valley with a great answer and a deuce of their own in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, that third inning, Jeff, is when both squads got their two runs and 4 hits for the Western Warriors, 3 hits for the Vikings. You know, and this is two very good quality baseball teams. We talked earlier in the game that it's going to be low scoring. The weather's going to have a little bit to do with that. So, but Western's done a nice job. Pitcher's been a nice job. Vikings are playing hard. So it's fun to watch these young men playing baseball here at Dow Diamond.
The Vikings were in the state championship game a year ago with the majority of their team returning. And you know what Western's last 10 years or so under Coach McDonald have been here at Western. So you've got two great quality programs. You've got great talent. Both of those rallies, though, were aided by those runners being in motion, making things happen.
Heads up base running, Jeff, by both squads, and stealing the base and getting the jump, and good hitting also. So good solid baseball by both teams there in the third inning to get the 2 runs for both squads. Up now for the Warriors, Jeff, number 3, Adam Randall.
Adam just a tad tardy on both of those offerings, but got good wood on him for a metal bat, I guess. So just to the outside, just missing. Again, great purpose pitch, perfectly located at low and outside.
Well, you know, we talked about when we were putting the spring sports schedule together, Jeff. We saw this game. We said, yeah, we got to do this game because this is two good quality teams, very well coached. And like last year, Swan Valley, 33-9-3, and made it to the state championship game. So, and Adam Randall goes down on strikes. Nice curveball.
Boy, absolutely froze him. He knew that ball was coming in, but he just had committed to taking that pitch, and then it comes right in on the inside corner. That's a helpless feeling for a hitter.
Well, anybody who's played the baseball has had that feeling before. You just can't pull the trigger sometimes.
Now back to the outside. Sika's really starting to change speeds and locations on his pitch at 68 miles an hour on that last offering. He's starting to get the Western Warriors guessing at the plate again. And a fastball right on the outside corner. Again, Craig Freeman was looking for back-to-back off-speed pitches, and he's nibbling the corners. Now Sika's doing a nice job.
You see the major leaguers do that, Jeff, and sometimes the scouting report says this is the way, this is what you're going to see, and sometimes they change up on you, and then you just can't pull the trigger, can't swing the bat.
Well, but when you have the type of catchers that both of these teams have got, they certainly do everything they can to make sure that pitcher doesn't become too predictable. And there is a little looper that's going to drop into right field, just out of the mid of the right fielder that made an exceptional try. Chase Thurston, made a diving effort and maybe had that ball in the glove for a split second before it hit the ground.
Yeah, I think it was in the glove, Jeff, and just popped out, but a nice effort by the right fielder for Swan Valley, Chase Thurston. Big hit right there for the Warriors. Up now, number 7, Brendan Brunel for Bay City Western.
And Brendan Brunel, he wants to get on base because he said speed kills. As Sika, first offering is low and inside. Again, Sika going back to the stretch with the runner on first. We'll see if that has any effect on his pitch location and his pitch selection, because he doesn't want to pounce one up there and put the Warriors in a position to get that runner over in a scoring position.
The Warriors are getting good leads off of first base, Jeff, and they're ready to run. So we'll see what Coach McDonald has up his sleeve. He gave the signals to the runner. We're ready to rock.
There's a lazy fly ball that is going right into the glove of Brian Ross. And that is the second out of the inning, as Bunnell hit the ball solid, but right straight to the center field.
Yep, but good solid hit, good looking stroke right there. 2 outs for the Bay City Western Warriors. Up now, number 6, Carson Cooley for Bay City Western. Carson is if I am not mistaken, he is the shortstop for the Bay City Western Warriors. Had a nice game tonight for the Warriors.
And he takes the first pitch for a strike. And he's looking at that gap in right center field right now, too. If he hits that gap, then they'll be running all day long. Back to first base with the dive, as they're doing a really good job of keeping an eye on the Western runners, as Sika has done a nice sequence of pitches from the stretch.
Yeah, Vikings are worried about the Western speed. There you go.
That ball down into center field, very solidly hit. And don't look now, but the Western Warriors trying to get a little two-out rally going.
Carson, nice job hitting the ball, staying right on it. And first and second for the Warriors, up number 5 for Bay City Western, and that is Mason Kolak, the first baseman.
Well, and he's the number 3 hitter, too, so if he gets on base, you're looking at the 3, 4, 5 position for Western. So even though there's 2 outs, the right spot in the lineup coming up for the Western Warriors. Mason Kolak looks at the first pitch just off the outside corner. As Joe Squires, our home plate umpire, has done a great job in the second game, as Tim Walter did in the first game behind the plate. As their custom, they always swap them out. And a little lazy pop foul that is caught. And that is number 12, Logan Gilbert. Very sure-handed with that big first baseman's mitt. Squeezes the third out of the inning. And we've played 4.5 innings, going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still tied at 2. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested transportation service. For over a decade, we have been helping our clients to get to their destination on time, in style, and comfort. AAA's services include non-emergency medical transport, wheelchair accessible, school transportation, and shuttle services. We strive to provide exceptional customer service and tailor our fleet to meet your individual needs. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. To set up your next appointment, give us a call at 989-893-8294.
Back now at the bottom of the 5th inning, Jeff Doan and Mike Guazdala along with you as we look at Adam Shea, the lefty, with his 2nd inning of pitching for the Western Warriors.
Adam's done a nice job. Jeff came in for Jacek with score tied 2-2. And up now for the Vikings, Chase Thurston, the right fielder.
Boy, Chase can't catch up to that first offering at 79 miles an hour. And again, that fastball has been anywhere from 78 to 85 miles an hour. This one at 82 miles an hour. So when you're able to change speeds on the fastball, it makes it really tough on the hitter.
Yeah, pitchers for West are doing a nice job changing up Jeff. And 0-2 now on Chase Thurston. And a nice stop right there by Nick Dardis. You know, that was just one of those pitchers that are going to throw it in the dirt and see what you do with it. And Chase said, no, I don't want anything to do with that pitch.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you've got a great catcher that knows that there's nobody on base and they're still giving up their body to make sure that that ball doesn't get by them, that's a point of pride. Right down the middle. Nick Dardis was halfway to third base with that toss before it was even called.
Chase wasn't even out of the batter's box, and it was already in the third baseman's hands, Jeff, and he knew it. What a nice pitch, good spot pitch right there for Adam Shea.
Boy, just above the knees, and it was on the outside third of the plate, but it caught all of the plate. Bunt attempt from Mitch Jebb, as he's trying to do anything he can to manufacture a base runner here for Swan Valley in the 5th.
Another good-looking baseball player, Jeff, for Swan Valley. Mitch, the shortstop's done a nice job tonight for the Swan Valley Vikings. And again, we're tied up. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-2. Bay City Western taking on the purple and white clad Swan Valley Vikings here at beautiful Dow Diamond.
And Mitch Jebb was bailing big time on that, and it just missed the inside corner as that pitch maybe got a little bit too much on it, but 84 miles an hour. He reared back trying to get a little bit extra, but things sailed high.
Well, and you think about Swan Valley, Jeff. You and I have had the opportunity to go over there, and nice facilities over there, and always good, solid, athletic teams over at Saginaw Swan Valley, both on the boys and girls side.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Mitch Jebb. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 1 out. Jebb steps away from the plate for a minute. A lot of times you do that just to hope to throw the rhythm of the pitcher off a little bit. Let's see what type of an effect that has on Adam Shea. Right back close here and bangs off the window just to our left.
I think it stayed up here.
You think that thing stayed up in the neighborhood?
I think so. I think Nick says it's right there, so we're going to have to go get that ball and go get our free bag of popcorn.
I'm ready for it. You tried to get your popcorn earlier, and there were so many people in line, you're going without dinner.
I am.
Ooh, and that pitch just missed. Dardis wasn't reeling it down to third base quite yet, though, so he may have known that was right on the edge low.
He zipped it back to the pitcher pretty good, though. He knew it was close.
And there's ball 4 as Mitch Jebb finds himself on first base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That'll bring up to the bat Avery Goldensoft. Again, you're dealing with the right part of the lineup for Swan Valley here in the 5th as they try and make some noise in the bottom of the 5th. And I would say we're going to look at one more pitch, and if Adam Shea is way off with that, I wouldn't be shocked if Coach McDonald goes to the mound and has a little calm-down chat.
I've been keeping an eye on Coach. Nick and Coach are, getting the signs from Coach McDonald. So Coach McDonald's been around a long time and knows his players very well. So if he thinks he has to go and have a chat, just to, hey, calm down. We're going to be all right. Everything's good. We're fine. And that's all it takes sometimes.
Well, and you get 5 opportunities a game. They've only used 1, so you judiciously use those things during the game. So if you need a couple in the late innings, they're there and available.
We're out to Webster a little early, aren't we?
Oh, and I'll tell you what, that was a play where Jebb was doing a little cat and mouse game and took the extra step towards second, but Shea couldn't quite get that throw low enough. I think Jebb was dead meat if that ball was thrown low into first base. And
they're keeping a close eye on Jebb.
Well, I mean, it's a huge run and runner in this game, too, because if he gets to second base, Goldensoft is one of the hitters that is most capable of bringing him home.
Yeah, and Goldensoft is one of the finer players out there for Saginaw Swan Valley, Jeff. And Jebb's got a little bit of speed, so they're going to keep a close eye on him. And you're right, in a game like this, 1 run is huge.
Boy, Goldensoft was just raring to get that fastball. He saw the fastball but realized it was high, and he held off 3 balls and no strikes on Avery Goldensoft here in the bottom of the 5th. And a nice job that time because they were pretty certain that Goldensoft, in the situation of the game, now maybe in a different situation at 2-0, he'd be reared up and ready to rock with it. But now at 3-1, he still knows he's going to see a quality pitch.
You can't take your eye off of Jebb over there on first base. You got to make sure that you're remembering him over there.
Boy, and another pitch high from Goldensoft. And will we get a trip as Coach McDonald will show the confidence in this young man, Adam Shea, that he's going to be able to get out of it. So we've got Goldensoft at first, Jebb at second base, 1 down in the bottom of the 5th, and a tie score. Again up high, and that's where Coach McDonald says, I need to come out. Had a quick timeout on the field as I think Shea might just be trying to rear back and let it fly a little bit too much, even though that last pitch was only at 82.
Well, and Coach McDonald just says, I've we talked about it about 3 or 4 pitches before. He just said, going out there, just calm down. We're going to be fine. Just throw it to Nick and play a little catch, and we'll see what happens. But this is another good opportunity for Coach McDonald to talk to his pitcher and his infield. And, sometimes it's nice to hear from the kids behind you too, the players behind you saying some good things. Just relax, pitcher, do what you've been doing, and we're going to be fine.
Throw, strike, let them put the ball in play. You got a great defense behind you. You're a double play away from getting out of the inning.
And that's probably what was said. Just calm down, relax. Adam, you're going to be fine. Warriors are going to be fine. We're going to be all right.
This is a pitch that a hitter normally loves to feast on, and he got a juicy fastball, about thigh high right down the middle of the plate. And he was, Brian Ross was all about taking that, making sure that Shea was back on track throwing strikes. That pitch just a little bit low at 68 miles an hour. So, again, 14-mile differential from previous to this pitch. And 2-1. Brian Ross is in a great position in a great hitter spot with 2 runners on base.
There it is.
And there is the tailor-made double play ball that'll get them out of the inning. Just like Coach McDonald asked for, just like the soothsayer of men, Jeff Doan, asked for. It's the old 463 as it goes from Courier to Cooley to Kolak. You say that quick and you'll have a tongue tie at the end of 5. We're all knotted up at 2. Back in a moment for the 6th on BCTV.
Hi, I'm Zoe, and today I'm here to change your outlook on becoming a referee. Sometimes being a referee can be hard work, but I'm here to tell you that the positives far outweigh the negatives. Just think of the impact you could have on the younger generation, the laughs you could share, and the lives you could change. There's an unofficiated game that needs you.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Guazdala with you for the top of the 6th inning as the Western Warriors are looking to make things happen. Adam Shea will be the leadoff hitter for the Western Warriors, and he puts a charge into one as that is high and deep to right field, and that short hops the fence, trying to make it to third base, and a double pump that time by the second baseman on the relay gave Adam Shea all the time he needed to cruise head first into third.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, that almost got out of here. It hit right at the bottom of the fence, and Shea put a charge into it. That was a beautifully hit ball and a great way to start the top of the 6th inning for the Warriors.
And I'm going to tell you what, if there is not that northeast breeze coming, that could have kept that ball from going out of the park, the breeze.
Well, you look at the flag now, it's kind of going across the field from right field to left. Before it was blowing straight in. So that might have had some on it, but boy, Shea just got everything he could on that one, and the right fielder hit right at the bottom of the fence. There's nothing that right fielder could do.
Yep, that was a big long toss to right field. Now Trey Miller's going to pinch run for the Western Warriors, as they're going to have 3 opportunities to get him in from third base. Nice job, too. Now Swan Valley gets the brain trusts out there just to let them know, hey, you got to watch for the squeeze. Yep. What are we going to do if the ball's hit to the infield? What are you going to do as a runner? Are you going on contact? Are you going to wait? I think they wait with nobody out. I don't think they go just on contact.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Jeff. But, Swan Valley's got to be on the same page, and so do the Western Warriors. So coaches are talking to number 9, Greg. He's got a great opportunity to get a run in here for the Bay City Western Warriors.
And Greg has an opportunity to be patient at the plate, and pretty much your answer from Swan Valley. They know the importance of this run. Infield is in, so you hit something hard 4 or 5 feet either side of second or short, and you should be able to have a base hit. Jimmy Grigg fouls that one right back on the screen.
He wanted that one. That was his pitch.
He knew he was going to get a fastball. And that just came in the mid-70s. It was a very hittable pitch. It was a little high, but he just only got a piece of it. No balls and 1 strike. And a great off-speed pitch at 64 miles an hour. And Connor Sika just threw a gem there. Has Grigg in the hole 0-2. He's again having a pitch out of the stretch right now. Miller down at third base.
Going up high.
And there is just a lazy foul ball. I think they're going to run out of room for this one as it just goes a couple of the rows deep. And somebody from Hemlock, Michigan retrieves that ball over on the Swan Valley side at first base. So the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. As Jimmy Grigg trying to just put this thing in play to have an opportunity to get Miller in from third base. Shea really is. Sika has changed his speed now, being very slow and deliberate. And there is a lazy fly ball. And that is going to be caught at third base. And wow, what a toss. In back from Thurston. You weren't going to risk that because his momentum was taking him towards home plate as he caught the ball. With nobody out, that's not a risk you want to take.
Yeah, when he took a couple steps back, Jeff, and then he was coming in. So that's what you want to do as an outfielder and have that momentum going towards home plate. And he threw a dart into the catcher for Swan Valley, and that is Goldensoft. And he did a nice job, but you know what? Griggs did a nice job, got it out of the infield, just didn't get it quite deep enough.
As that's a beautiful curt ball on Dardis. I think Western's got the person up to the plate right now that they want in this situation, and Sika does a great job of starting him off with a slow curve at 66.
Nick had a base hit the last time he was up.
Back-to-back curveballs, this one just off the plate. Very seldom do they double up on something. They know that Dardis is a D1 player, and they know that he can time the fastball, so they're really trying to keep him off balance. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dardis sends one up the gap, and that looks like the left fielder is going to be able to get his hands on that. The relay and the throw to home plate. And Miller beats the throw home in the top of the 6th inning. It is 3-2. I think that coach is going to look back at this game tape, though, and tell Miller, that was a little closer than you wanted it to be. Next time you better be going down at the plate.
Well, I'll tell you what, nice job hitting by Nick Dardis, Jeff. Got it deep enough out to the left fielder, and that is a huge run. Basically Western 3, Saginaw Swan Valley 2 here in the top of the 6th inning.
Well, all Wharton got that thing to Jeb in a hurry, and Jeb was about 8 or 10 steps onto the outfield grass, and he threw a seed at home that made it closer than I thought that it was going to be.
Well, and again, Coach McDonald was watching the ball, and the Miller was not even looking at the left fielder catching the ball. Coach McDonald said, go, and he ran as hard as he could. And again, like I said, that is a huge run for Bay City Western.
2 outs and 1 strike on the batter, Joe Courier. 1 ball and 1 strike. So there's a flight copter heading overhead right now, and it's usually not meaning that they're out for a stroll someplace. Somebody's in need, but we're very well equipped in the Tri-Cities to have a couple of copters. And there is another liner to center field, and very nice job of the center fielder to realize that was going to hit in front of him. You want to give up a single, not make a mistake and make it a 3-bagger.
Yeah, nice job by Joe Courier to get that base hit. Jeff, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning, if I'm not mistaken. Top of the 6th inning, excuse me, for Bay City Western. They're up 3-2. And you look at the board, Jeff, that's hit number 8 for the Warriors tonight. And I think they were like that through 4, 5, 6 hits in the first game. So the bats came alive here at Dow Diamond for Bay City Western.
I really like the decision by Ross to not make an attempt to go for that and have it get by him. As there's another ball hit to right field, and that ball's carrying a little bit. But a nice job by Thurston to reel it in. The Western Warriors able to dent the scoreboard with an extra run. And they are fighting themselves up going into the bottom of the 6th, up 3-2. Back in a moment for the bottom of 6 on BCTV.
Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Back for the bottom of the 6th inning. Jeff Tone and Mike Wisdala along with you. A little swap at the battery here, and Nick Dardis comes in at the top of the 6th inning to see if he can hold this lead for the Western Warriors.
Yeah, takes off the catching equipment, Jeff, and goes out to the mound. So I did not know Nick Dardis was a pitcher, but apparently he is. So he's going to come on in the bottom of the 6th for the Warriors with a 3-2 lead over the Swan Valley Vikings.
Pretty nice when you've got the versatility of a potential all-state catcher being able to come in the 6th inning. Boy, what a feel for that first off-speed pitch at 71 miles an hour. He snapped it off.
Yeah, nice job by Dick at the plate for the Swan Valley Vikings. Number 7, Joe Bula. 0-1 for Joe to start here in the bottom of the 6th.
And there is a ball to the shortstop. Cooley with a nice toss over to Kolek. And 2 pitches and 1 out here in the 6th inning. And one thing you're seeing from Dardis, the first 2 pitches, he's all throwing strikes. He says, go ahead, it's going to be there. You better take a whack at it because I'm throwing strikes.
Well, that was a nice pitch right there, Jeff. Just a little bit low, but, you look at this field and how this ball is just really true hops for these kids, and really a nice field-to-field on.
As the first pitch is just a little bit low and outside, Logan Gilbert up with 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th. As the Swan Valley Vikings trying to come back from a 3-2 deficit right now. They're down to their last 5 outs. Dardis might have aimed that pitch a little bit as he let it fly, but he still got 83 mile an hour on the gun.
Yeah, Nick does a nice job, Jeff, and he's probably going to be just this inning. I don't know for sure if he'll be back in the 7th. He could be what they call maybe the setup man for the Warriors. But nice hit right there by Gilbert, and Nick might have been a little bit taller. He would have got that one. He almost got it, just out of the reach of his glove.
He was a little bit surprised it came back, caught him a little bit flat-footed. He couldn't elevate. We've seen him elevate on the basketball floor. We know he's got the hops, as we've got a pinch runner coming in for Swan Valley. They're doing everything they can. Oh, ball loose in the pen. We better have time on the field for a minute so we can take care of that. Get that ball back in the corner there. As Victor Mancini now has an opportunity with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th and a runner on first base to see if he can do a little something to bring that batter around. Gonzalez, the pinch runner now for Swan Valley. Mancini stares down the pitcher as Dardis works for the first time this inning out of the stretch.
That was nice.
And another 70-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. Dardis has started all 3 batters this inning off with an off-speed pitch. So if I'm in the on-deck circle, I'm going to be pondering that to see if I can time one that if he's consistent and does it on the 4th hitter.
Yeah, nice curveball right there by Nick, and he comes back with a fastball on the outside corner, 0-2 for number 14, Victor Mancini of Saginaw Swan Valley.
But I tell you, guessed wrong again and was just a little off balance at the plate. Let's see what Dardis comes with an 0-2 offering. Boy, he does a great job of the triple look, and going on the pitch was Gonzalez, and Mancini just got a piece of that offering, and that's the 3rd straight off-speed pitch. So you pretty much could be guessing here that Dardis is going to come with the heat because Mancini's been able to catch up to the last 2 off speed. So we'll find out now with one out, runner on first base, Gonzalez. And there is a high, lazy fly ball in the right field. Adam Randall gobbles that up. And there are 2 outs with 1 on right now. And the last opportunity for Swan Valley here in the bottom of the 6th inning to see if they can make it happen.
Pike.
It is Pike coming up to plate. And he is the DH tonight, so a little confab going to go on at the mound, and I think Coach McDonald was waiting before he crossed the line to check the card to see how many visits he'd made and that he's got a couple left. So I think that they're going to do the same thing with Dardis. I think that they might be telling this new catcher, hey, everybody's started off with a Charlie. I think we better throw heat on the first pitch. They might be looking for a Charlie.
Well, I think Coach McDonald was looking for special dispensation from the umpire, Joe Squires, so he could go out there. But, you know, you got to remember stuff like that, Jeff. They're trying to speed up the game a little bit so you get so many trips, and you don't want to step across that line and, you know, not be able to do what you want to do. But I think another good opportunity for Coach McDonald to talk to his kids and make sure they're all on the same page.
Well, this is a huge spot, too, in the ball game with 2 outs and a runner on first base being Gonzalez. Matt Pike with an opportunity to come up with a big hit for the Swan Valley Vikings. Gonzalez is in motion to run, and that pitch gets away from the center fielder, and they're going to send him home. And he looks like he is going to score. So what looked like a real harmless play to begin with, the ball gets away, and then in center field, Freeman loses his footing. And that's a helpless feeling when you get up. You got a long way to go to get that. And Pike makes it happen without even having to hit the ball.
Well, a nice job by Freeman, Jeff. You know, he was backing up the plate like he's supposed to in center field, but he just slipped, and there's a little bit of dew on the ground, as we say many times during football games at this time of the evening. So he slipped. Ball went all the way out to center field, and the Vikings tied it up.
So still no balls and no strikes. And there is another off-speed pitch to start with. And Pike, he was offering at that. He kind of sensed that it was coming, but couldn't catch up with it. No balls and 1 strike. Dardis remains out of the stretch, which is truly what you do as a... Oh, they were 1 strike behind on the count on the board, and that is the one that'll end the inning. So Nick Dardis ends up getting the inning finished, but not before Swan Valley puts the equalizer on the board. Back for the top of the 7th in just a moment on Bay County TV.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Back here for the top of the 7th as we look down to the western dugout. Rally caps are on for those kids. They're doing everything they can to see if they can just scratch out one on the top of the 7th. And Swan Valley says, hey, we got a little momentum here. We picked up a run in the bottom of the 6th. If we can get Western out, come to the plate with the bottom of the 7th, score tied, we'll have an opportunity to win.
Well, there was a, just kind of a little bit of a freak play out there, Jeff. And the center fielder fell down, backing up the throw from the catcher on a steal by Swan Valley, and he went all the way from first home on that play. So big opportunity right now for Western Warriors to get a run here in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, and sometimes when you make a good play or a mistake, it's always good to be the first batter up in the next half inning, as Craig Freeman has an opportunity now to see if he can find a way to get on base to get all the way around. Are we checking the bat? I have no idea what that confab was, but Now, if Freeman hits the ball about 480 feet, then they might want to check the bat, but unless that happens, I don't think it's an issue.
I don't think you can cork a metal bat. Can you, Nick? I don't know.
Well, they can, because many a times in softball when I was umpiring, they had illegal bats that are reinforced, and so it can happen, but I don't think anybody risks losing a game here with that happening. But boy,
It's pretty funny when the umpire takes the bat from the young man and they have a conversation about it. Never saw that happen before.
right back up the middle, and that's going to be really tough on the backhand, pulled off the base. Nice job as Craig Freeman put the ball in play, hustled down to first base. You know he's playing center field, so he's going to have some speed. This ought to be a fun little cat and mouse game now.
Always nice to get the leadoff batter on base, Jeff, here in the top of the seventh when you're tied up 3-3. Three runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Bay City Western, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Saginaw Swan Valley Vikings.
As Jamie Grigg will be the next batter for the Western Warriors. Let's see if they're potentially going to pinch hitter, pinch runner. As Coach McDonald's taking his time and
Going to get a pitch runner. Trey Miller, excuse me.
as he scored the go-ahead at the time run for Western. So your designated runner obviously can be into the ball game more than one time.
Think he runs like Dad?
We'll find out in a minute. If he can shoot like Dad, then he's got a nice stroke. So here we go with nobody out. And that ball tapped in front of the plate. Very nicely done, as that is the first out of the inning, but that puts Trey Miller down into scoring position. So Jamie Grigg does a very nice job of advancing the runner. That's what he was asked to do.
And a good, again, Jeff, great bunt and defensively fundamental basketball. Jeb covered third baseman for Swan Valley. Mancini came in, made a nice play, and Jeb right over to third base covering. So good, solid, fundamental baseball by both squads.
Oh, as they just about sailed one into center field. They do a little trickery there where the shortstop comes around and takes off and goes back to his position. Second baseman tries a little sneak-a-diddle-do into the back door. And Trey Miller was very wise to that fact that something was going on. He didn't stray far from the base.
Oh, Brunel. Boy, that was called. That was a good decision right there on. Is that Miller out there or Brunel? Oh, yeah.
Brunel had the bunt.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now 1 ball, no strikes. That ball right off of the corner on the outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So great opportunity for Carson Cooley here with a 2-0 hitters count. And 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Off-speed pitch is a little bit low, 3-0. And I'm telling you right now, looking at Connor Sika, he knows that Miller's on second base, and it looks like it's got just enough of his attention. Plus, Sika's thrown quite a few pitches on this chili.
Yeah, you're right. He has. And that's ball number 4, Jeff. 1 out here in the top of the 7th for the Western Warriors. Men on first and second. And up to the plate right now, number 5 for the Bay City Western Warriors. And Kolak, the first baseman, with a great opportunity here to do something special for Bay City Western.
Infield fly rule is also in effect for the defense as we watch the right hand go up over the top of the chest, and that signifies to the umpire behind the plate that the infield fly rule is in effect.
Not saying the national anthem or anything?
Nope, excuse me, it's left hand over to the right side. He's backwards from me, so I had to do the old vici-vici. So Mason Kolak with an opportunity with 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. And the pitcher steps off the mound and not on the same page, and you might as well stop and call him out to make sure that there's no mistakes. That pretty much tells me that the pitcher wants to throw an off-speed pitch, and he wants to make sure his catcher will smother that thing.
Then you know, we don't know if the coach from Swan Valley is calling the pitches, Jeff. It does not look like it. It looks like the catcher's making the decision for the pitcher.
As that first pitch is off the plate. So Connor Sika digging himself into a little bit of a hole here with 1 ball, no strike count. Mason Kolak finding himself in a nice spot. He might take until he gets a strike.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sika's struggling a little bit right now. No, we were wrong, both wrong. But that was right down the pipe. You had a good look at it.
Well, he was looking fastball, and he got a 67-mile off-speed offering, so nice job that time by Sika to keep the batter Kolak off balance. And again, a little miniature mix-up, so he just steps off the mound for a moment, regroups. And that ball just at the outside corner and the knees. Kolak finds himself in a 1-2 hole, and might be some umpires up in the bleachers that weren't in total agreement with that.
Did you hear them? You could hear them all the way up here. They were a little skeptical on that one.
Now Kolak's got to take care of business. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As he just gets a piece of an off-speed offering at 66 miles an hour again. Sika's trying to keep him off speed and off balance. They must have done their scouting and realized Kolak is a great fastball hitter.
Yeah, they've been throwing him a lot of off-speed pitches, Jeff. 0-2, 1 out, 2 men on for the Warriors here in the top of the 7th. Good eye.
Little wasted pitch. He shows them a little bit more heat, even though that's only at 72 miles an hour. That's not his fastball's been anywhere from 78 to 81 in the ball game. So we'll see now with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball down the first baseline is pulled foul. So an opportunity now for Kolak with 2 on and 1 out in the top of the 7th inning to see if he can bring somebody around for the Western Warriors, as Trey Miller is on second base, presenting the go-ahead run. That is outside. I believe the count is full right now. The scoreboard says 2-2, but I think the count is full. We'll have to wait and see what this next offering brings. Boy, Sika taking his time, wants to make certain he has the right offering. And he gets Kolak on a high pitch that Kolak wishes he maybe had back.
That was a nice pitch, Jeff. A little bit off the plate, a little bit high, and so Kolak had a good look at it, just didn't get contact with it. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. And at bat number 18, Ashton Cooley for the Bay City Western Warriors.
That ball just gets in. So Ashton Cooley, who came in the ball game to catch last inning, couldn't be any relation to Carson Cooley.
I would think so.
So he's in a position right now to make things happen for the Western Warriors. He hits a lazy ball down the right field line. It is just over the head of the outfielder. It's going to score 2 runs. Stopping at second base, I'm sure, is Cooley. He had a well-timed ball deep into the corner by the next tier sign. And a huge 2-out, 2-run double for Ashton Cooley.
Well, nice job by Cooley. Jeff just went with the pitch. It was outside and did a nice job taking it to right field. There's no way Thurston out there could catch that ball. Went all the way to the wall. And a big 2 runs in the top of the 7th for Bay City Western. 5-2 Western over Saginaw Swan Valley.
Boy, and I'll tell you, the right fielder Thurston really got on his horse and was 1 stride away from making a huge catch in this game. But looks like we're going to have another pinch runner. It's probably what's going to happen now is Joey Smith will come in to run. they'll probably replace the pitcher in the 7th inning and put Dardis back behind the plate. If I'm trying to outguess Tim McDonald right now, that's pretty scary if I'm even in the neighborhood.
You've tried that once before, and you were definitely wrong.
It didn't work.
It didn't work very well. So up now for Bay City Western, Jeff, number 9, third baseman Jimmy Griggs with 2 out here in the top of the 7th, and the Western Warriors up 5-3 over the Swan Valley Vikings. That was just a nice piece of hitting by Cooley for the Bay City Western Warriors.
And when you're a right-handed batter and that ball's going to right field, that spin takes the ball towards the line and away from the right fielder, and it's a helpless feeling for him to try and catch up to that ball when it's spinning away from him.
Well, it looks like one of my off the tee, my slice. It goes left to right, and that's exactly what it did, Jeff, and just kind of scooted away from Thurston. So 5-3 Western with a big 2 runs here in the top of the 7th.
Pitch on the outside, and a nice job that time with the steal. And Joey with a nice little run to third base because that ball really didn't get too far away from Goldschmidt.
I like Jeff, I like the way they're playing tonight. I like their heads up on the base run. They've been very active, good speed, and taking advantage of things that Swan Valley is doing right now. So that's good base running by Joey Smith.
3 balls and no strikes on Jimmy Griggs. Do they give him the green light at 3-0? That ball's just outside. So runners on first and third now, and look who's coming up to bat, Nick Dardis. And are they going to make a pitching change? Looks like they're going to, because I was going to say Dardis better look off speed on that first pitch because that's what he's gotten the last 2 times up to bat. But they're going to have a little pitching change right now. We're going to take a quick break and be back with Western leading with 2 outs in the top of the 7th, 5-3. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Ow, ow, ouch! My hip, my knee, my joints feel out of whack. Ow, ow, oh my! The pain, I can't take it anymore.
All right, Nick Dardis with an opportunity to lengthen that lead for the Western Warriors with 2 outs. The new pitcher is Brian Ross as he comes in from center field. So a little defensive switcheroo, and Ross will try and get the Swan Valley Vikings out of the inning. So Western is in a situation where they're going to just roll back to first base, and that's done to try and get in a pickle to see if you're distracted with that runner at third base, and if you can make that work, that's awesome. But boy, you know, he got about halfway to second base before any of his teammates even yelled that he's going.
Well, and Joey Smith did a nice job down there on third base, Jeff. He was watching it the whole time. Coach McDonald was talking to him. So, you know, it's worth a try, and no worse for wear out of the Bay City Western Warriors.
Boy, for the first time at bat tonight, Dardis gets started off with a high and tight fastball, hits the inside corner right up underneath his hands. Pretty much a tough pitch for him to handle, so he does a nice job of just letting it go.
Yep, and he's going to walk down to the third baseline, talk to Coach Tim McDonald, and to see what Coach McDonald has up his sleeve. He wasn't quite sure what he was signaling to him earlier, Jeff, so he just wants to make sure that he and Coach McDonald are on the same Western Warrior page.
And with 2 runners on, better get back on first base, young man. Nick Dardis with an 0-1 count on him as Ross pitches from the stretch. And they just got another run. That is absolutely perfectly done. Joey was sitting there with Coach McDonald chirping in his ear, take another step, couple of more steps, go, 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 go.
And the Western faithful were yelling the same thing, Jeff. Great job by Coach McDonald calling that play right there. Good base running for the Western Warriors. Just a big heads-up play. And, you know, when you think about it, 6-3 sounds a lot better than 5-3.
Little insurance run there here in the 7th inning, and you never know when you'll need that extra.
Yeah, that was just a great job by Bay City Western. Wonderful.
And don't look now, but they have another runner in scoring position as Dardis waves and misses at that offering. So at the end of 6.5 innings, the Western Warriors come up with 3 big ones in the top of the 6th to take a 6-3 lead down to their final 3 outs. The Swan Valley Vikings will be back for their offensive opportunities in the bottom of the 7th right here on Bay County TV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Taking a peek at that scoreboard out there, Mike Wisdala, it's got a big 3 underneath the 7, which is huge for the Western Warriors.
Well, that was a big top of the 7th inning for Western, Jeff. They got 3 runs. You know, they got 6 up there, 10 hits, 2 errors, 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for Swan Valley. But really nice base running by Bay City Western to get that 3rd run, and a big hit by Cooley. Big double to bring in 2, gave them 3 runs in the top of the 7th. So Swan Valley's got their work cut out for them.
And they are going to start off the bottom of the 7th inning, trying to make something happen. As Connor Sika, the pitcher, is going to try and help his own cause out. Dardis prefers to pitch out of the stretch. Just inside, almost skimmed by Sika. But I'm going to tell you, you see these players these days, they hug that inside third of the box.
Yep, they're tight, Jeff. We talked about it last year when we were here. You are right. They are right on top and all over the plate.
A lot of them use that open front leg so that they can get that bat around, open up their hips just a little bit for the inside third pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dardis tried to throw a curveball that didn't curve. Sika wasn't real interested in getting out of the way. He says, I'll get on first base any way I can.
Come heck or high water, he said, I got to get out there. We're down 3 in the bottom of the 7th.
I think you're going to see a fastball here. And that's exactly what we got at 80 miles an hour. And again, you're dealing with cold conditions. Your grip on that off-speed pitch is normally not the same. So I think you go to a steady diet of fastball, certainly up 3 runs here on a 2-2 count. We'll see what Dardis tosses. And just had him off balance again. And Nick Dardis says, Jeff, don't ever try and outthink me. I'm going to slap off a little curveball here just because you don't think that it's my best pitch right now. Forgive me, Mr. Dardis. I will not try and second-guess an all-stater.
Stop, please. He's saying, don't leave me alone, he's saying right now.
How many years have you tried to do it? That's why you're up in the booth and you're not coaching.
Right, exactly.
Fouled off by Sika as he does a nice job of fending off the fastball that I thought was coming on the pitch before.
I've been watching you make mistakes like that for 25 years. I'm not shocked.
Well, I pride myself on consistency.
You are consistent, I'll tell you that.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Sika again. Top of the 7th inning. Western Warriors up by 3. And that pitch is on the inside corner, and Sika said, that thing brushed up against my shirt sleeve. And Joe Squire says, I've been around the game way too long. You know, if you're going to sell that, you better be dropping the bat and doing a little tingly dance.
It's worth a try, though. It's worth a try, but you're right. Veteran umpires, been around, they know what's going on.
Boy, and Nick Dardis right now with a 3-2 count. Wants real badly to throw a strike. You don't want to put that leadoff runner on base to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Dardis taking his time, zeroes in on a pitch. It's a little high and tight, And Sika's going to earn an opportunity to go to first base. As the first batter gets on, and Zach Gerke is going to have an opportunity now to make something happen. Zach's first opportunity in this ball game.
Zach takes a look down at the coach in third base, and coach says, "Yep, we know what we got to do. There's Zachary boy. You just got to hit the pitch, and let's get some more runs on the board here." But that's a big first walk for Swan Valley. They needed that first runner on.
Boy, Dardis goes right down the middle right now. And the one thing Nick can't do is even worry about that runner at first base, because very seldom are they going to try and throw themselves out of an inning by getting caught at second base. So I would be shocked if that runner is in motion, being Sika.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a real big lead either, Jeff. So you're right. They're down 3. They're not going to take a chance to get thrown out. But that second pitch by Nick to Zach Gerke was another strike. That was an off-speed curveball. So 0-2 to Gerke here in the bottom of the 7th.
No balls and 2 strikes again. Sika at first base. Ooh, maybe a 3/4 of an inch high on that pitch. It was very, very good pitch, because when you're coming with a 78-mile-an-hour pitch and it's at the top of the zone, those are tough to catch up to.
That was just a skosh high, Jeff, but it was a good pitch. Tantalizing, number 27, Zach Gerke. That's a strike.
Boy, and he knew it, too, as soon as he saw that. It was 73 miles an hour. That was a little change-up action again, but just enough difference between the 79-mile-an-hour fastball, a little change-up at 73, your off-speed pitch at about 69. He's trying to really keep that batter off balance, and got him on 3 straight.
That was just a nice pitch by Nick, Jeff, and Gerke was thinking fastball, and the curveball came in, the off-speed pitch, and he just couldn't pull the trigger like a couple times tonight for both teams. So, good, solid pitching by both squads tonight, Jeff, and both teams seemed to get out of their hitting slumps that we talked to the coaches about earlier.
Boy, great pitching sequence that time for Dardis, as he came with all 3 of his best, and on 3 straight pitches he got Gerke. 1 down now, as that pitch is just a little bit low. Mitch Jebb trying to keep the rally going for the Swan Valley Vikings here once again in the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 6-3 Western, with a big 3 spot in the top of the 7th inning. And there's a bunt. Nice job, just beating it out at first base. And that was a bang-banger. I think it was the right call.
That was close.
And working his way on first base is Mitch Jebb. So now what you're looking at is Goldensoft. So you've got the right hitter for Swan Valley up in the batter's box right now. Let's see if he can get an extra base hit. Western just playing medium depth defensively with him.
Well, they're moving back just a little bit. Coach McDonald just moved all of his outfielders back a little bit and a little bit wider towards the foul lines.
Runners on first and second. Goldensoft, excuse me, lets that first offering go, which is just a little bit low into the outside. Great first pitch from Dardis, just to see if Goldensoft was a little bit anxious at the plate, but he's a veteran.
Another one outside by Nick. Two balls, no strikes on Avery Goldensoft for the Swan Valley Vikings. Here in bottom of the 7th, Jeff, 6-3, Bay City Western Warriors up over to the Vikings of Swan Valley.
Should get a good pitch to hit. Will he be swinging? He took a fastball right down the pipe at 80. He's convinced that he's going to get one pitch that he's going to try and handle. So he wanted to make certain that Dardis threw him a strike.
Well, it's good luck, take that pitch. So that puts himself in a very good hitter's situation right here.
I think he may have left the strike zone with that offer, but again, he saw an 80-mile-an-hour heater. He was looking heater. He had heater timed. It was just a little bit high, and all he got is a little piece of it.
Well, and Avery got it right on the tootsies. In a cold night like tonight, boy, those babies that does not feel good.
Those puppies are barking right now.
Woof.
2 balls and 2 strikes right now. 2 runners on, 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Swan Valley down by 3. Dardis taking his time. Comes with an offering, and Golden Soft with another good fend-off swing as he hits a foul ball and stays alive.
That did a nice job, Jeff. That was a good pitch by Nick. And again, we're at 2-2, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And at the plate for Swan Valley, Avery Goldensoft.
Will Dardis try and go low and outside? Looks like that's where the catcher is set up. Oh, he snapped one off, and Golden Soft absolutely froze at the plate. And Dardis shows great confidence in his secondary pitch. And now we've got Brian Ross with the final opportunity for the Swan Valley Vikings.
Brian's had a nice game tonight for Swan Valley. Jeff, 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. What a great opportunity for number 5, Brian Ross.
Dardis again slowed down his pace, very deliberate. And that first pitch is right down the middle, knee high. Outside third, that had a nice little crisp hit to the catcher's glove.
You heard that all the way up here, Jeff. Strike number 1 on Brian Ross.
And it's all about location, too. That was outside third at the knees, exactly where you'd like that pitch. And he goes on the outside corner once again. No balls and 2 strikes. So Brian Ross is in a position right now where he's got to protect the plate.
Yeah, he does, Jeff. And that was another nice pitch by Nick and by the Western Warrior pitching staff all tonight, Jeff. They've been throwing it all over the plate, but they've been really painting the corners a little bit.
So down to their final strike in the ball game. Brian Ross stepped out for a minute. Dardis stepped off. He's got to the set position. And that ball is just a little bit low. And again, when you're the umpire and you see that catcher's mitt swing, then you know that ball is probably a little bit low. The catcher will give that away before he has to make the call.
Yeah, that was a nice pitch right there by Nick, Jeff. 1 ball, 2 strikes on number 5, Brian Ross.
Dardis again with a little slight hesitation. And there's going to be a quick flip to first base. That's all there is.
There isn't anymore.
The final score in the ball game, a twin bill sweep for the Western Warriors, 6-3. That victory. We'll be back to put the wraps on this one in just a moment on Bay County TV.
Our smiles can light up a room. Our work can light up an entire city. We're the men and women of the IBEW, working with a code of excellence that guarantees the job will be done right, on time, and safely. We're lighting the path to the future. Let us show you just how bright that path is.
Good evening and welcome back to our post-game show on Bay County TV. Jeff Todt and Mike Wisdala along with you. And after the first victory at 3-0, they come back in the second game, scored 2 big runs in the top of the third, but Swan Valley had a quick answer.
Well, you know, those were a big 2 runs by Western, Jeff, but Swan Valley did a nice job getting those 2 runs back in the bottom of the third inning to tie this ball game up. And, you know, it was a pitching duel up to about the top of the 7th inning. So, and Western did a nice job putting some runs on the board.
Western gets a run in the 6th inning. Then in the bottom of the 6th inning, a steal by Swan Valley, an errant throw going into center field, and that's where the Freeman lost his footing when the dew hit the field and allowed that run to be scoring to make it 3-3, but Western had another answer in the 7th.
Yeah, kind of a freak play for Freeman out there in center field, Jeff. He just lost his footing and backing up the play from the catcher trying to throw out the runner for Swan Valley, and it just rolled past him. You know, he did the right thing. He just slipped, and that tied the ball game up. But, you know, when you look at that, you got to come back, and boy, did Western ever come back in the top of the 7th.
In between games, we had an opportunity to go down and talk to Coach McDonald and Coach Snover. And Coach Snover said, we've lost 7 one-run games this year, which tells you on the good side, they're in those games. On the bad side, you got to find a way to win them. But I think he's really got to be pleased because timely hitting made that happen in the second half of the doubleheader.
Yeah, it was a good hitting performance tonight, Jeff, by Bay City Western. They put 10 hits up on the board here in game number 2. And, you know, that might just be the opportunity tonight at Dow Diamond that Western was looking for to get them off the schneid a little bit. They started hitting the ball and came away with what I think is a very, very big win against a very good baseball team.
Dardis goes to the mound. Ashton Cooley goes behind the plate, gets to come up with maybe his biggest opportunity at the plate all year long and delivers with a great fly ball double to right field that gets past the outfielder just over his head. 2 big runs scored, and then the more impressive at the end of it was the rundown where they manufactured one.
Well, and that was just good base running by Coach McDonald and his team. You know, they tried to steal, and then Joey Smith was on third base coming down the line and took advantage of Swan Valley's little bit of hesitation trying to get the runner out of Bay City Western at second base, and that was a big run. And so Western goes up 6-3, wins the game 6-3, and what I think is a key win at this part of the season for Western Warriors. And I liked how they got off the schneid hitting the baseball.
So you're prognosticating that this is the double dip win against an extremely good team that is going to springboard that Western Warrior offense.
I think you're right, Jeff, and I think thank you for giving me a high five on that one. But I think this is a big win for Bay City Western against a good team that went to the state championship last year that has many of those players back. Keep an eye on this Western team from these 2 games forward. I think you're going to see a lot of good things and wins from Western.
Well, partner, it's great being back in the saddle with you. We had a lot of fun tonight. Western comes up with the runs and hits when they needed to make it happen and come away with a doubleheader victory, 3-0 in the first and 6-3 in the second game. That about puts the wraps on everything. On behalf of the whole miniature crew tonight, I'm Jeff Doan along with Mike Wisdala. Cameraman, produced, directed, the trifecta all in one. Nick Page, have a great night. We'll look forward to talking with you soon.
We'll see you next time.